Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch on this, what will be a momentous day for those of us here in Central Florida. They're out there right now putting up the rope lines. The bouncers are at the door. We're anticipating huge crowds. We've alerted the police. Not. At any rate, good to see you. As usual, my friends. Drink it if you got it. One more. That's good. That's good. So, good to see you. Good to see you. Everybody's piling in here, and we God, it's so nice to be able to work the mixer with my right hand here. It's getting better and better. I even used it a little yesterday on the mouse. Speaking of yesterday, a heartfelt thanks again to Mike Seeley Jr. and Sr. when we had the dress rehearsal, catered dress rehearsal for today's meetup, celebrating, evidently I was mistaken, we are celebrating both of their birthdays, which are in the month of July. And they took me to lunch, and it gave me a chance to kind of rehearse what I need to go through. I didn't park real close, but that was okay. I have a walker in the back of my car, got it out, walked into the restaurant, we got there about 5 minutes early, and they showed up shortly after that. We went in, we ate. Everything went great. Lunch was great. Conversation was great. I didn't film it. We didn't even take any pictures because today it might be a little harder on me because I'm going to not only, I guess, be the official host of this meetup, but it's going to be a lot more exciting, a lot more activity. I'm sure I'm going to move around a lot, and I'm going to double my role as filmmaker, cameraman, and the whole thing. So I'm going to be taking some cameras with me, and for me, it's going to be a little bit of a working lunch, but a pleasure nonetheless. I don't know how big the turnout's going to be because it's just too far for most people to attend. I know who's coming. You'll see them in the video. It'll probably take me a day or two to edit that. But I hope to have a lot of surprises. People just pop in. Anybody can pop in. You can pop in. Unless, of course, you're thousands of miles away. Would be a little tough in that case. At any rate, I'm looking forward to it. Kilt is on the way. Nelson's probably on the way, although he's about an hour and a half away from here. Peter is on the way. He said in the chat that he's driving. He's got about I'd say 2.5 hour drive. Jerry Voitish coming from the other way, coming from up north. He's on the road. So some of you are actually listening to this as a podcast almost in your cars. I can't wait to see you guys. We're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great time. So we'll keep you posted. I'm excited. I'm excited about it, and I'm sure everything will be just fine. And if yesterday is any indication, I was tired when I got home, but not so tired as to really affect it, anything, my walking or anything else. And at no time during the day did I even get the slightest bit lightheaded. And that happens sometimes when you really start to deplete your energy. So that's the meetup today. I talked about lunch yesterday. Got that thing scrolling down there on the bottom of the screen. Let me get rid of that. Let me get my, where is it here? My buy me a coffee thing out of the way. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you yesterday for those of you who did that. I can't get enough coffee. You understand? And there's a link in the chat. I did put the right link in there. Yes. Okay. Sometimes I put the wrong link in there. That doesn't make any sense. I wanted to let me take a second and pin that up at the top of the chat. And what else I got here in my show notes? 4th of July. 4th of July coming up this, and they've been talking a lot about it on the news. And I did watch the morning news for about 5 minutes this morning, trying to get a feel for what's going on with that big, beautiful bill they're trying to pass, listening to the silly, totally fabricated and phony and false propaganda that some of these senators get out there in front of a microphone and actually are able to speak their travesties with such conviction that you almost want to believe they know what they're talking about. My opinion of the human race in general goes down a notch every time I listen to these. I won't use the word, but I'm thinking a very bad word. Kind of associated with a certain part of our anatomy where we sit. Enough said. And on the news, they were talking a lot about the 4th of July. And they said something that really surprised me. It said they started talking about the traffic rush and how dangerous it's going to be on the roads. And we're expecting a lot of storms this week, how that's going to make it even more dangerous. And they said, get this, 4.5 million people here in Florida over this holiday are going to travel to someplace at least 50 miles from where they live just to celebrate the 4th of July. And then I thought, in my inevitable way, I said, what's the draw? Why will these people risk traffic accidents, all the bad things that can happen to you, traveling all that way to celebrate? And then I said, well, the word celebrate, what are they going to do when they get there? Well, they're going to be with friends, which is nice. Would they still go through all that to go be with their family and their friends if these celebrations did not include crap food and alcohol? I like to kind of think that most of them would say, yo, you want me to come to your 4th of July thing? It's a long drive. I got to, do all that. What are you serving? What's on the menu? Oh, well, nothing. We're not serving anything. We're going to, we're carnivores and all we eat is meat. We're going to have a barbecue, but that's going to be it. And we don't drink, so that won't be here. Oh, geez, I just realized I can't make it. I can't. People will not go. They go for the food. It's crazy. It's our culture now. So in order for us to effect any change in the dietary habits, it goes so far beyond educating people as to the danger of eating all these plants and sugars and things, because that's not something that will motivate them. You're going to take all their fun away, all their partying away, every reason or excuse they have to even leave the house. And I've said it before, how many people would go to a football game if not for the beer and the hot dogs and the tailgate party? It's all, we are absolutely, and it's proven every time I hear this, that we are so food-centric. Now, that's not an accident. We're bombarded by this idea every day. Every advertisement for any kind of soft drink shows people partying and dancing and laughing. The drug company says, hey, that's a good idea. It works for food. Maybe in our drug commercials, we can show people partying and dancing and laughing. And they do. Hence, we have the dancing fat girls in the diabetes drug commercials. So that's who we are. That's who we are. Americans. When people think of Americans, now they can't help but think of partying, dancing, drinking fat people. That's our culture now. So maybe, and I just thought, maybe if we want to change hearts and minds about the terrible things that we're all doing to ourselves, which we think is great. We bought into the idea that it's so healthy and it's so much fun. Maybe it needs to be attacked from a cultural level. And I think that may be harder to change than anything else. Might take generations, even if we could figure out how to get started. But that's my observation for today. I like to start these things off with a little observation from something that just hit me maybe differently than it would hit most people. Because I'm sure most people, when they were watching the news story about the dangers of driving on the 4th of July and all this stuff, they certainly weren't thinking about massive cultural changes. Leave it to me. I saw the word freaking in a post just to go by. What is it? Jackie Realtor. Jackie, popping in to say good morning, getting ready to head over to the new house, 4 more pounds to pre-surgery weight. Freaking doc had his bad advice, eat carbs to heal. Never again. Typical. I can hardly take these people seriously anymore. And that's a shame, because it's against all odds that all of their advice could be bad. It's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. I tend to ignore everything they say, and that may not be the greatest thing to do either, because maybe there has to be something in the whole medical community that they're telling you to do that really is something you should do. I still haven't found out what that is yet. Well, they talk about exercise, but they talk about healthy eating. Have you ever noticed that all the people that you ever hear who are struggling with their weight and don't know about carnivore or keto are just average, normal, brainwashed Americans? When they're always saying things like, God, I don't know why I can't lose any weight. I eat healthy and I exercise. I'm killing myself in the gym and I eat healthy and I don't know what else to do, but I'm still gaining weight. And I still need more insulin every day for my diabetes. I don't understand it, they say. I'm doing all the right things. And you know, you have to go like this when I'm talking to you, because otherwise you go nuts. I do. And I start just, you know me, all my mind comes right out of my mouth. I start telling them, you're an idiot, you know, and that doesn't get you real far. And you can't convert people. But they believe it. That's the problem. They all believe it. It's been a part of our culture so long. The message has been out, and the narrative has been out there so long. The amount of that message as you hear is increasing every day. And I would say at least 99% of people in this country think that fruits, vegetables, and whole grains are the healthiest way to go. And none of them does anything but harm the human body and deprive it of every nutrient it needs to do its job. Okay, enough of that lecture. Let me say hello to some people. 92 people so far, and they're coming in. I saw Kiltz this morning. He's on his way, evidently on his way down here. The airport is only like a couple, maybe a half a mile from the restaurant, so I don't know what the details or what the arrangements are, but I'm sure maybe Mike Sealy or somebody's going to pick him up and drive him over here. Nelson is going to be driving in from DeLand, Florida, about an hour and a half away. So pretty soon, all these people are going to hit the road. And then I'm going to hit the road. In time to get there, probably about maybe as much as a half an hour early. Get a better parking place closer to the mall than I did yesterday. I set up the cameras, do a little filming, relax a little bit, and leisurely stroll up to the front door of the mall where people will be congregating. I will have a camera rolling for all that, and you'll see exactly what it was like and what you missed. Last night, 7:47, the furrow grandma Wendy got here. Hi, Wendy, how you doing? Followed by Smoothie. Let me put that up there so you can see it. There you go. Wendy was here first. Smoothie, 420 second. And Rick, number 3. See you tomorrow morning. Thank you, Rick. Tina Schweikerath, I watched 2 days and looking forward to tomorrow. And Tina is going to be my guest on Sunday. So everybody tune in on Sunday. And you get to meet Tina in person. Michael Pragler was here last night. Nikki W. Hi, and Nikki, how you doing last night? And Tuka, always here. Good to see you, Tuka. Loves us all so much. Right back at you, my friend. Right back at you, my friend. Who is this? Wayne Herman. Good day, Mitch, and all members. Hi, Wayne. How are you this morning? And Lady June chimed in from the United Kingdom early in the morning over there. And Jem in California said she's going to bed. It was 10 p.m. over in California when she chimed in. So still early for them, but we'll see if we see her this morning. Brian Dish was here this morning. Rick. Good morning, Rick. And in honor of you, my friend. All right. Now, Mike Sealy Sr. Mike, how you doing here in Melbourne? Looking forward to the meetup. It was great seeing you guys yesterday. We had a really nice lunch. Sandy Blythe was here this morning. Good morning, Sandy. And Mike Sealy Jr., who's here in town. Hi, Michael. Good morning to you. And let's see who else we got this morning. We have Chris Swain from Australia. Good to see you, Chris. Good to see you from the future. Rick chimed in this morning, said, good morning, Peter. Peter, good morning. Mitch Fitz, I'll be driving up to Melbourne for the meetup, but I'll be listening. Okay, Peter, I know you're going to be jonesing to text and comment. I know it. I know you're going to be going, oh, God, I wanted to say this. I wanted to say that. But you don't do it. Don't be Even if it's voice typing, don't be doing it while you're driving, man. Listen to the news, people. It's going to be dangerous out there on the highways. People are starting to leave today already for the 4th of July. Who else we got here? Jerry, another road warrior. Jerry Voitos, starting my drive now. Save me a seat, Peter. That's your job, Peter. You get to save Jerry a seat. There'll be plenty of seats, believe me. It would really thrill me to see a big, unanticipated crowd. But we've done these things before, and we all know that these little, small, local meetups are not like the ones that Curry and Kiltz put on up there in Boston. We don't have a lineup of celebrities. We don't have a whole day of speeches and lectures planned. It's just a bunch of the world's finest people, smartest people, congregating for a little bit of intimate contact, friendship, and great food. When we go and tie our food to our social life, we're doing the right thing. And you can call us anti-culture warriors. That's what we are. Aunt B is in the house. Hi, Aunt B. How you doing this morning at 8 o'clock, 8:04? Less junk, more health. Good to see you. Bacon Baby chimed in this morning. Aunt B saying hi to virtually everybody. And if that wasn't enough, she's saying hi to some more. That's great, B. And B says, hit the like button. And in an homage to Rick, B puts a couple of duck emojis up. Tina's back. Good morning, Tina and Aaron. Aaron was on with Nelson. With Nelson. Quite a star. Meetup, good morning, brothers and sisters. Can I have an amen? Claudia Burkick is here with us. Good morning, all. And Ryan Dish says, good morning, everyone. Less junk, more health says, good morning, everyone. Rick's counting down. Quack time in 1 minute, he says. But unfortunately, it was 2.5 minutes before, so Rick's clock is a little fast. I like this. Smoothie says, good morning, Mitch. And the Mitch fits, and he spells it with a Z. It's Wagyu Wednesday. Mike Sealy, meetup today, 11:30, and he gives you the details. Just show up. Just show up. That'll be the official slogan of the day. Just show up. Surprise us. Tanya, hiya, Tanya. The hour is almost upon us, and 2 minutes before we go, it is Rick, charge at Mopar, complimenting Mike Sealy Jr. It's so confusing. I mean, two people with the same name. And they really don't use the junior or senior in their names either. I had to add that just to make a distinction. Rick is going to grace us with his presence, and once it gets going, he'll probably go back out to work. CB Carmack, hi, CB. Got to get you down here for a meetup one of these days. Good morning, Mitch and the Mitchfits. Great to see you here this morning. And, jumped the gun this morning, Gary. Sorry, my friend. Don't feel like winning today. Yeah, well, you did that on purpose. You're a nice guy. Let somebody else have the glory. Let somebody else have the glory today. And Lori says, it's time. 8:29. Rick hit it at 8:29. Terry Sue at 8:29. Rick again at 8:29. United Carnivore at 8:29. Claudia Burkick at 8:29. Rick again at 8:29. Rick again at 8:29. Wow. We have a new winner today. Yes, sir. New winner today. And it is Brian. Fly Fisherman Dish. Have a great time today. for your meetup. Thank you. And you are today's winner, and you hit it exactly on the 2nd at 8:30, followed by the land down under, Chris Swain, Turi Sue. Hiya, Turi. Good morning. How are you? Here we go. Cordelia hit it at 8:30, and I'll run through this list of 8:30 people, and we'll get on with whatever we're going to get on with, which is usually just me answering questions if you ask them, or just interacting with you in the chat. I really don't want this to run too much overtime today, so I have time to get ready for what I got to do to film this thing and be a part of it as well. Marla Kelly at 8:30, Michael Pregler, Lori Whitesall, hi Lori, and Rick again, and Sharon McCabe. Good morning, Sharon. Brian Dish again. Still 8:30. Melissa B. Hi, Melissa. Good to see you. Robert Morris. Hi, Robert. How you doing? And 8:30. That was the last. No. I'm sorry. That was Robert Morris was the first of the 8:31 crowd. I've had the carbs followed. Who else we got here? Max D. Hi, Max D. How are you? Tanya checked in again. Sandy Blythe. Good job, Mitch. Good job, Mitch. My mother used to say that. My daughter-in-law says that all the time when her kids are little. Good job. Rick knows it will be great. It will be, Rick. And one of these days, man, we're going to pry you away from that house, even if we have to come down there and get you and drag you up here kicking and screaming. And that would be something worth filming, wouldn't it? Oh, Aaron. Aaron is back. How are you doing? The best people, what the meetup says. Rick, Lady June. Wait for ages, and then the internet messes me up. Oh, no. Sounds like you got back in time only a minute, 2 minutes later. Yeah, I'm motivated. Cool name. Good morning from Southern California. Good morning. And Thomas is here. Hi, Thomas. Target Prime Rib. And who haven't I said hi to yet? Who is this? Maury James. Hi, Maury. Hey to all the Mitch for some Calgary. Hey, Mitch, my subscription was bumped, so I just resubscribed. It's hot and humid in Nova Scotia today. Well, that happens to a lot of people. I don't know why it keeps knocking people out, but YouTube does that. You're not alone. I see it every day. I don't know if there must be a reason, because nothing happens in computers that wasn't programmed to happen, or the thing will crash. So obviously some programming somewhere looks at a certain set of parameters and decides, maybe they don't want you to watch me. I don't know how it works. I don't even want to know. Just put up with it. All YouTubers across all genres have exactly the same problem. I had it when I was doing drone stuff. So yeah, would be a long drive for you, Michael. It'd be a long drive for most people. It really would. And we don't expect you to come because it's just a lunch. If I was going to put up an event, which I probably never will do, it's very ambitious, and there's a lot of them all over the country anyway. But if I was going to put up an event, a 2-day thing, maybe with an overnight stay, and had Ken Berry, Anthony Chafee, Sean Baker, Robert Kiltz, every famous YouTuber known to man, going to be there, and is going to speak and shake your hand. And I had a fabulous meal planned. We had rented space in a convention center somewhere to hold these events. We had professional filmmakers and photographers and video people broadcasting it and filming it with a documentary to follow. And I charged $300 a head to come, which wouldn't even cover the expenses to do something like that. I could probably attract a little bigger crowd than I'm attracting with my little little mini meetup here in Melbourne. We got our stars. We got kilts. We got kilts at Nelson. And dare I say, maybe me. But there's just only so few of us. That's the problem that people don't think about, that we are such a small, minuscule group of people that there's just so many people to draw from. And most of them are just so far away. And it would cost so much money. And I know a lot of people try to go to one event a year, but any more than that would not be feasible for most people. So you expect, I'm never disappointed by this. And if only 10 people show up, it'll be a great day. It'll be a great day. We're going to have more than 10 people, I think. But we're going to enjoy our company. It is so reassuring for us to be around in close physical proximity to like-minded people who've become our friends, and we've never met them. Mama Bear says, hello, how you doing, Mama Bear? And Lori Weitzel's here. Hiya, Lori, how you doing? I got Lori sent me some pictures of her. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Let's see if I can show you. Unless, I imagine if you send me pictures, don't be embarrassed if I actually show them. I'll get them. Lori sent me some pictures of her. It's Canada Day up there, and they all dress up. And there's Lori. There's Lori in her Canada Day outfit with a red Canada hat on. I imagine that Canada Day up there is like is kind of like our 4th of July. At any rate, there's Lori. She sent me these pictures, and I just want to share them with you. Thank you, Lori. Thank you very much. Hope I didn't embarrass you. I don't imagine. We should not be embarrassed. If you put the before pictures next to any of these pictures, you find it. We all of us have reasons to be proud. Reasons to be proud. And we have Kay Renard. Hi, good morning. Switching to YouTube this time. Yeah, if you've been watching on Rumble, it's just creates too many errors for me to try to monitor the Rumble chat as well. And everybody who was in the Rumble chat watches on YouTube so they can participate with the majority of people. I'd like to see more action on Rumble, but so far it is not growing. I made no money. It's not hardly worth the trouble at this point. There's not enough of our community on Rumble. I basically do it only as an alternative place to go should something either accidentally or on purpose screw up my channel on YouTube, gets hacked, they delete me for some reason. There's an awful lot of bad things that can happen to YouTubers. And I at least would have Rumble as a place to go and have a presence, do the morning live streams, at least until I got the YouTube crap straightened out. If you don't believe that, ask Ken Berry. Well, you can't get a hold of him, me neither, but ask him if the occasion arises. His whole channel got hacked. They changed the password. He couldn't even get into it. They took it over. They started putting out videos, and everybody thought they were on Ken Berry's channel. It took them a while to straighten that mess out. I remember that. I was very puzzled. When it's like the troll Papa Carnivore. They used to come into some people's chats. Again, just increasing my opinion of the human race in general. I think the ratio of good people to bad people is declining. But thank God there's still loads of good people. And you don't believe that? Just come in here every morning because we're surrounded by them. Refreshing, very refreshing. Danny in Boston. Hey, good morning, Danny. How are you? I saw your pictures with the boys up at Boston in the meetup. That was quite a meetup. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember QQQ in the chat, and I'll see it. Cape Bernard says, I just got back from Navarre. I don't know where that is. Navarre, Florida. Traveled from Dallas, Texas area. Traffic in Florida between Pensacola and yeah, traffic in Florida everywhere is thick. But that's Interstate 10 up there, and a major east-west interstate. It goes by New Orleans, it goes through Texas, it ends up in California. It is a main artery, and no matter how many lanes they keep adding to that thing, it's always busy. And I say to myself, where the hell are all these people gone? What are they doing on my road? They're probably saying the same thing about me. What's that guy doing on my road? Tourist, get out of my city. Get out of my way. On the inside, they say that. Or if you shout it in your face. I'm 10 minutes in the chat, and 25 minutes behind already. Holy cow. And this is a day that... And Peter and Thomas aren't even yakking back and forth in the chat. And there's still a lot of chat. But Rick is here to... I thought you were going outside to work. Rick is here to keep up the tradition. I said hi to all these people already. You're just talking back and forth. Conversations have started. Rick and Lori and Smoothie. Michael Pregler's talking to Rick. And there's somebody I haven't said hi to, Steve Studley. Hi, Steve. I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning to you. Welcome. Glad you could make it this morning. I watched some of my kilts this morning. I didn't comment or anything, so nobody knew I was there. I was lurking in the shadows. He had a little girl named Ashley that he was interviewing, and it was interesting. I watched about 20 minutes of it. It would be great if the kids today could catch on to this. It was nice to see a very young lady who was pretty well, sounds like they pretty well got it figured out. Kids are smart enough to understand. And maybe, just maybe, if you get them young enough, that addiction, even though it's there, hasn't permanently rooted, whereas it's almost impossible to get rid of. Maybe a STEM program, maybe something in the schools, which would be, it almost might even be coming possible, because that's all government. And we do have RFK up there. Maybe a push towards better nutritional education starting in pre-kindergarten, starting in nursery school. Take the pictures of the friggin' carrots and broccoli off the wall and replace them with pictures of cows and sheep and ribeyes. It is brainwashing after all. What do you think the kids are going to think these days? Oh, they hear meat bad, vegetables good. They think they're on a healthy diet when they have their peanut butter and jelly sandwich on whole wheat bread instead of Wonder Bread. I remain astounded. How can this continue? How can this continue? Unless we're all the biggest fools on the planet and we're wrong and everybody else is right. But every time I look in the mirror, I'm convinced, no, that's not possible. I remember when I was fat and in pain and getting sicker and sicker in my 60s. And had I not changed to or stuck with low carb, which I've tried to do all my life, figured out how to get rid of my addiction, I would probably be dead by now. Most likely would have died from a much more serious stroke than I had. But that's conjecture. No, I can't say that for sure, and I certainly can't point you to a randomized controlled, double-blind, placebo-based study that proves it. None of these studies prove anything. I'm convinced of that. None of them prove anything. At least they don't prove anything universally, because some of us don't react the way other people do. We're a little bit different. You don't have to be too much different. Tuka's back. He says, I have arrived. Well, Tuka, the crowd is happy to hear that. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, the dating site is open, and B is Steve Studley's first love. About that. Cheryl Huskins. Hi, Cheryl. Says, hi, Mitch. Hi to you. Good to see you here this morning. I'm still trying to pick out, as I go through this, here's Louise Florida. Hi, Louise. Good morning to you. It's still like 8:50 in that chat. What's going on in the current chat? Haven't seen any QQQs yet. Jackie's talking, and B's talking. Claudia Burkick is talking. Leanne McNabb. I don't know that name. Hi, Leanne. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Potted meat like underwater, talking about different meats. Kitchen, which says Thomas, coffee or no coffee today. It reminds me. Drink my coffee. Decaf. I've not had caffeine in 3 weeks. Excuse me. I haven't had decaf coffee in about 3 weeks now. And I think it's really helping. It never helped that much before, but before the stroke, I never depleted energy so fast. That stroke magnifies the effects of almost all these different influences on your body. I've come to that conclusion. So something that may have done an almost unnoticeable effect in a change in my energy, I never noticed. It becomes extremely noticeable. Recovering. The body is doing so much work and using so much energy, especially in the brain, just to heal, that you just run out of gas. I'm finding that like a 1 hour nap around 3 o'clock in the afternoon just, it's like supercharges me. And if I don't nap, the rest of the day is just sluggish. So I never did nap. I never used to nap. I used to think that having to nap was a kind of a sign of weakness, which I don't like. I always consider myself a strong person, both physically and strong-willed person. But now I'm finding that it's normal. Everybody takes naps. Kelsey takes naps. My best friend in the world, one of my best friends, used to take a nap every day. He had a couch in his office at his factory, and he'd go in there, and if you disturbed him, you took your life in your hands. And he took his nap faithfully every day. Unfortunately, he was a follower of Furman and Ornish, and he was a vegan or vegetarian, but mostly vegan. Very rarely ate any meat. Lost a lot of weight, thought it was the healthiest thing, followed all these guys' advice because they had been very overweight and sick for a lot of his life. He was an ex-Navy fighter pilot in Vietnam, flew A-4s off carriers. He was a great guy, very smart. He did well on the vegetarian nonsense for a few years. He at least started to eat an egg or two now and then, maybe a piece of meat. But he used to give me hell. He was the guy. Every time he was, he had a factory where they made probably the finest model jet airplane kits in the country, and he was it was almost a religion to him, this diet. He used to be on my ass constantly. Mitch, you got to stop eating all that meat. You're going to kill yourself. You're going to have a heart attack, blah, blah, blah. Well, he died quite a while ago. One of those friends that I lost. A couple of them were really vegans. And that's sad. He probably would have been still alive, still vital. And he's about 5 years older than me. And probably doing very, very well today as a carnivore. But sometimes these people just get it in their head. And especially if they had such great results. And many of them do, not by virtue of the fact that they're eating whole foods, at least, fruits and vegetables, but by virtue of the fact that they're not eating the processed stuff anymore. But they credit the fruits and vegetables and don't even think about the fact that maybe it's not what they added to their diet, but what they stopped eating. It's really important, which I think was this case. And you hear time after time in these testimonials from vegans who after 4 or 5 years just went to hell completely, went on carnivore, and they never felt better, and everything's rosy, and there's no end to those videos. I have not heard or seen a video where a carnivore said, I had to give up. It was killing me. I went and I started eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches on whole wheat bread, and God, I feel like 20 again. No, never saw those. Never saw those. Never saw people saying, wow, I was able to give up my insulin. It's all out there. Again, what do you believe? So he died, and that was sad. That was sad. But I didn't listen to him and some of the other vegetarian friends I had, and they're all gone now. And good old Mitch is still here, pushing 80, and yeah, I had a stroke, but I had nothing to do with it. I ate so much shit in my life that it had to have done damage. But I'm just going to continue to plug along like I am, and whatever happens will happen. But I'm not. This stroke taught me a serious lesson. For a while there, I thought maybe I need to add carbs. Maybe I should believe these people who's like Benazati and those that say you need a carb cycle. You can't just eat meat. And then on the other side of the argument, you got Chafee and Bart K and those guys who are saying, bull on that, you can just eat meat. You don't need a thing that comes in plants. And I have believed that for a long time. But when it happens to you, you still have doubts because we know none of these things for certain. I don't think we know anything for certain, and thank God I came to my senses fairly rapidly, and I just put my foot down. And I said, take your statins and take your beta blockers and take your carb cycling advice and do it if you like to your body. Me, I'm going to go back to carnivore. So I went back on carnivore, get full carnivore, strict. No plants other than a bean that is dipped in water to make coffee. I don't even eat the bean. I just kind of dip it in the water, basically, brew the coffee. No caffeine, or very little, insignificant amount. No carbs whatsoever, period. No carbs. I even gave up dairy because I tried to... No, I thought, thank you, Kilts, for the ice cream, but I can't do it. It's not. I can't. My addiction is too strong. I can't moderate it. I either will eat ice cream all day, or I have to eat no ice cream. So I said, okay, that's it. I'm done with the ice cream. So I have no dairy, no cheese. I have just meat, eggs, fish, bacon, chicken, and I was gaining weight. All this in the last couple of months. I was gaining weight. My digestion was getting screwy. I said, no. And I would say it's been 3-4 weeks that I actually gave up on all that nonsense, trying to figure out why I didn't have the energy I had. I'm blaming it on the stroke because it's normal, and most stroke victims go through this. Just rest when I feel the need to rest. And a lot of the weight I gained is starting to shed, and my energy levels are rising. I'm no longer reliant on caffeine to give me that kick, and everything is much, much better. Carnivore, my friends, in case you didn't know this, will not hurt you. It won't hurt you, which is the big battle cry. You're killing yourself. It will not hurt you. It is there. I don't believe there's a condition that it's going to make worse. There might be something out there, some obscure condition that something in me. It may be a genetic defect, but I can't believe that this diet could be hazardous to your health if it allows you to get off of all that medication, all those poisons, give up all those plant foods and plant toxins, all that diabetes-causing sugar, and just eat what you are made of, and that is meat. And eat what your brain needs to heal and perform at a very high level. And don't become demented in your older age. Steve Studley says, Mitch sounds great. Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I'm feeling great this morning. I'm so looking forward to this little meetup today. And I just want to chronicle it, not just for you, but for me too. It's like home movies for me. You know, I don't have little kids running around and dogs and cats to take movies of. So I pretty much take movies of myself, let you in on the journey, and sometimes I just go back and watch some of these older videos of myself, especially from the drone days, because I made some damn good videos with drones, and I just enjoy watching them. You know, it's a sad commentary on our entertainment industry. If, like me, you try and sit there with the clicker trying to find something to watch, and no. And the best thing you could find to watch on TV, amongst the thousands of channels and options that we have, is a video of yourself. That's happened to me. I just could give up trying to find something I'm interested in. So I drag up it's like you get so tired of watching this crap on TV, you drag out your old home movies. The stuff you shot on Super 8 film of your kids when they were young, splash around in front of your house with the spraying the garden hose on them. And you watch those things. Maybe our own lives are indeed more entertaining than the crap that they feed us every day. At least there wasn't any propaganda involved. CB Carmack, Brian Dish, you won a free ticket to walk through the door at the meetup. Yes. Thank you, CB. Thank you. Well, I'm not up to 9 o'clock in the chat. I'm half an hour behind. I can't go that long today. I'm going to look for questions. We're coming up on 9:30. I'm going to look for questions real quick here. See if anybody has a comment on Lori's pictures. Tanya, Lori looking great. And everybody was complimenting Lori. And Josephine C. evidently is in the house. How you doing? Good to see you. Leave it. Aunt B misses nobody. CB, looking great. Looking great, Lori. Very pretty and a hottie. I guess you like to be called that. Here's Josephine C. How you doing? And here's somebody new I haven't said hi to. Sue, Smoky Bear Lover. Good morning to you. See, I slow down. I'm trying to find questions, and I do it every time. I get sucked into the chat. Here's a question from Smoothie 420. Mitch, could you take that wall clock? You keep looking at it and pitch it in. Yeah, I know. I look up there at the wall clock, and I don't even know why I look at the wall clock, because I have a clock, another clock on my desk right off to the left, but it's just the force of habit. I like to think maybe, is that my good side? So I want to show you my good side occasionally. Get a little exercise so my neck doesn't get stiff. I'll find some benefit to it to justify all this looking at the wall clock. But yeah, I could very easily put a clock in front of me and I would know every second, but I don't want to know every second. I don't want to live by the clock normally. So I really don't want to see a clock ticking down in front of me. There's, I could get a little Windows program software that puts a digital clock right on the screen next to my face, but I don't like to do that. It kills spontaneity when you try to live by the clock like that. But I think you were just kidding about that. You really don't want me to throw my wall clock away. My wall clock. It's a Wi-Fi connected to the internet wall clock. The second hand on my wall clock corresponds with the second hand everywhere else that's connected to the internet. So when I start you can thank that for me starting this on time. I've got countdown things going everywhere to the second. And at 32 seconds before the 8:30, 32, not 31, not 33. At 32 seconds, I click the go live button. And it usually takes a second or two before I see the results from that, which is as close to 30 seconds before 8:30 as I can get. And I pride myself on being on time. One thing you've never done. And I'm proud of this. And it doesn't happen by accident. One thing you've never done. And maybe I'm the only person on YouTube that you can say I can count on him. You have never had, you've never had to be online and waiting for my live stream and watch the countdown go, and a minute passes and 2 minutes passes and it says waiting for Old Guy Carnivore. I don't know of another YouTuber that does live streams that can ever say that never happened with me. Is that OCS? Maybe. But if I'm nothing else in this world, I'm punctual. And that is because I do not like to be kept waiting by anybody. And if you're a considerate person, if there's something that bugs the hell out of you, you don't do it to other people. That's not saying that something might not happen last minute. And tomorrow morning, of course, after I just got done with that big yay me speech, I show up 10 minutes late. A technical difficulty could do that to me. But I would probably grab my cell phone and get on there real quick just to let you know what happened. Don't like to keep people waiting. Questions. I don't see many. I don't see any more. There you go. CB says, questions. I wonder, since we are recovering carb addicts here, could we keep our insulin level active using the cephalic phase insulin response by watching a video of our favorite duck food? I still don't know if I buy into that or not. That's there are many esteemed researchers and doctors who say that's a myth. You will always make insulin. You need insulin for so many other things that go on in your body. And all of that programming came about in a time when so many humans ate no sugar, yet somehow they still made the right amount of insulin. So I don't worry about that. I don't go by the numbers. My philosophy is as smart as we think we are, as smart as what we think we've learned, as smart as the experts and the medical community is, they know nothing compared to the tried and true, time-tested, evolution-tested programming that we have. And the only thing that is helpful for us to find out is where there's, in us individually, maybe some flaw, maybe some genetic defect in that programming, and we can help it by interfering. And I say, if you eat the right food and you move around, it doesn't have to be vigorous exercise. My grandfather was always thin, always in good shape. He ate nothing, mostly meat, vegetables, not a lot of sugar or carbs. I don't think the man I don't think he knew what the word gym meant. I don't think he ever did any strenuous exercise, whether it was interval training or not. He walked, he was on his feet. He had a factory where they made draperies and slipcovers, huge place. And he moved around. But to go out of his way to take a walk, get on an exercise bike, lift weight, never did it. He was healthy up to the day he died and smoked 5 cigars a day and never exercised. So I think all this gym crap started out as a business idea. Everything. What can we sell people? And any of you that have paid for gym memberships know that most people who buy into that get past the high pressure salesmen, and the closers, and the special deal that ends in 5 days. If you don't get it now, it'll never happen again, which seems to happen again every 5 days. You may as well go buy a timeshare. Same thing. Same con, same fraud. So I think it's best we don't buy into this shit. I think it's much better. Trust your physiology. It worked for eons before we were even able to be aware of it. Nature filtered out the stuff that didn't work. We are the result of all the things that did work in every generation of living thing that goes back to some single cell thing back at the beginning of time. So that's quite a study, quite a controlled study. And the results are written in every cell of our body, in billions of instructions in every strand of our DNA. We got to stop trying to outsmart that. Learn to give it what it needs. And we'll do fine. We'll do fine. And the more we interfere, I think, the more doubt and fear and worry we instill in each of us. And I don't think it does any good. I think it does more harm than good. Just do what you need to. Eat the food that we think you're supposed to, and we found out works the best based on the evidence we have now. You're going to die sometimes. I'm sorry. You're not going to live to be 200 years old like some of these lunatics with billions of dollars claim that they're going to become immortal. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. And if you can somehow spend enough money to hack that. Who the hell would want to live forever in this world with these people anyway? There's 8 billion of them now. What's this world going to be like when there's 50 billion people? I think it will have blown up long before then. So just don't sweat the small stuff. Eat the meat. Live your life. Move around. It's amazing, but everything I talk about, everything Kiltz talks about, everything everybody else talks about can be summed up in those 3 little things. What do you want to know about carnivore? I can tell you everything you need to know in about 12 seconds. Eat the meat. Move around and go out and live your life. That's it. That's it. It's so simple. Even a caveman could. Oh, wait. A caveman did do it. How about that? How about that? Oh, let me get to the end of this. I gotta go. Get ready to go. Okay. Carnivore Keith. How do you get all these hot chicks to follow you? I'll never tell, man. We all got our little secrets. Yeah. As nasty as you are, as nasty as you are, as serious as you are, whoever you are, they have a way of seeing through all that stuff, right down into your. Honest to God, they can see. Women have a sense. At least good women do. They know the most important thing about you, no matter what you say or what you act. They can read every mannerism. They don't miss a trick. You are either lovable or not. You can't become lovable. It goes deeper than that. It is something deep down in your makeup. They sense it. It transcends physical appearance in a lot of cases, although that's always at odds with a natural tendency to want to mate with someone who is attractive. And that's a whole nother thing. I got some coffees this morning. Thank you. Someone bought me a coffee. Who was that? That was, didn't tell me who it was. Thanks for being you, shipmate, they said. Someone bought me a coffee. And Aunt B bought me a coffee. Glad to contribute to the cause. Everyone order through Mitch's Amazon link. Prime days are coming up. Coming up in about a week or a little less than a week. I don't know what I'm allowed to tell you yet, but it's coming up. We're going to have, there are so many great deals on all these things, from standby backup battery, solar power things to air fryers, just even down to things that cost $5. I'm going to be, during those Prime days, I'm not going to make big videos about it and all that, make a big deal, but I am going to keep an eye on the prices of the things that we use mostly to help us with carnivore. And I'm going to let you know about those. Because there are things that people can't live without. I know I have things I can't live without now. And why not get them when they're cheaper? I always feel that way every Black Friday comes along, when something I thought I might have wanted to buy, I didn't, I forgot, and then the price goes way back up, and I say, oh shit, I forgot it. Anyway, I was saying that women have a way. Women have a way of they notice. It's an instinct. And they can tell a kind, decent, lovable guy from a fraud. And no matter how much you try to act like a kind, decent, lovable guy, they know. They know. So maybe, in answer to your question, how do all the hot chicks follow you? Maybe I am a lovable guy, and maybe they can sense it. Would be a little conceited of me to just come out and say, hi, I'm Mitch, and I'm a lovable guy. I don't know. That's my best shot at answering that question. You just know things about people. Do you ever meet somebody, and I talk about this again in my book, about how this happens and why. You ever meet somebody, man, and you just got a feeling it's just bad news? You can't put your finger on it. The hair is standing up on your arms. You have an urge to turn and run. There's just something about them, but you know nothing about them, but you get an instinct. Trust those instincts. They are much more aware of the reality of everything than you are at a conscious level. That is your subconscious mind reacting to something that they're putting out that it just indicates danger. Run like hell when you get that feeling. And we all have those feelings. It's a combination of everything. And sometimes these people may be handsome and beautiful, and you think you should be attracted. Just something is off. Something is off. Problem is, most of us don't know how to listen to those signals, and that's a trait that you almost have to learn. Your conscious mind has to learn. It happens to you subconsciously, but you've never really learned how to interpret the signals. Interpret the signals. So these signals, you don't recognize them when they happen. I've been thinking about this so long and convinced that this sixth sense type of communication between all living things is so real. And it has to be real to explain instinctual behavior in a newborn who hasn't learned it yet. Where did that knowledge come from? Where did that baby deer know instinctively not to go play with the lions? It's passed down to us. And when you start thinking along these lines, you find you tune your own mind into these things, which absolutely accounts for why some of the weird things that I have sensed, like I talked about yesterday, like my parents' death. Other people say, it didn't happen to me. No, it happened to you. You just have never learned to recognize what it means. And that's the difference between somebody that has believed something for so long that they allow themselves to tune in at a conscious level to what's going on in their subconscious mind. So I'm not surprised that most people say, oh, you're crazy, Mitch. I never felt. Absolutely. Sure. Absolutely. But when you know about it and you think about it, sometimes as things come up, you do say, wow, I know what that means. Any more questions? I want to, it's almost 1:45. Got to get going. Got to get, here you go. I got to stop pontificating on each point. Target, Thomas. So when we first met you, you said I look younger version of you. Does that mean when I grow up, I will attract all the ladies? Yes, Thomas. Because I do believe that you are a lovable guy. I did it. I got to the bottom of the chat. And it's Rick. It's Rick at the bottom of the chat. Yes, sir. And I hate to cut it short, but we're long anyway. So play a little happy music for all of you. Take the time to say goodbye. It's amazing to me. And I say this with all love and respect, Peter. It's amazing to me how much more quickly I got through the whole chat today than normal. Oh God, I can't help it. I'm sorry. I bust on Peter every time I can. And if I didn't like the guy, I wouldn't do that. So don't get me wrong. But it's true. It's true. I don't think there's half as many because Peter engages everybody. And that requires 2 or 3 more entries in the chat for somebody to say hello. And Peter to say hello. And they say, thank you, Peter. Hello to you. Well, when I'm scrolling, that's 3 or 4 more chat things I got to get by. And the chat was nowhere near as busy today. Do I want it this way always? No. Makes my life easier, but I still value the interaction that you guys have with each other, which is really the main draw that brings you here. And then the side benefit is, for me, you get to let me speak my mind. Don't give me too hard a time about it. So, I'm going to go to the meetup today. Looking forward to Kilson Nelson and all the guys, and Peter and Jerry Voitush and Dom, a new guy from Melbourne that we found out is a carnivore. We'll be there, and I've got some RSVPs and I can't rattle the names off, but everybody that's coming, I will certainly appreciate the effort to get here. Look forward to seeing you all later. Don't be surprised if you get interviewed on camera. Because I'm going to be Mitch the filmmaker too. And we'll see you then. So tomorrow morning I'll tell you all about it. Until then, my friends, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.